Would you welcome June Carter Cash?
June Carter
Please
Cash.
welcome
June Carter Cash.
Who is June Carter Cash? Well, she's a badass bitch, first off.
I don't think I've ever really known a life any different than show business.
Kristen, I feel like watching it, there were a lot of gateways into the story of June Carter Cash. What was your motivation to want to direct this documentary?
I think, well, I mean, the initial idea came from the family. They wanted to have her story told. And I just latched onto it as quickly as I could because she's such a remarkable woman. And it's a story, it's this combination of somebody who people know of, but don't know much about. So it was just such an opportunity to like bring her to the world.
Carlene, going through this process, did you learn anything different about Mom?
No, I knew most everything. I did get to see a lot of footage that I'd never seen and some pictures I had never seen. I'd seen parts of this or that, but some of the acting things that she did in the 50s, I had never seen any of that. And I was, such a little kid when she was studying acting and doing those parts. But I do remember when she was on Gunsmoke, I watched it on television. And that was a big deal because we liked Marshall Dillon, but yeah, so there was that part of it was good. And also seeing my mother and father, Carl Smith and Junie working together was great because they had a really playful, almost brotherly, sisterly kind of thing going on. As far as like cutting up and flirting and everything. But underneath all of it, it was all going to hell in a handbasket.
Kristen, the story, ambition, longevity, holding on to one's identity. There's so many very strong themes, regardless if you like the music, don't like the music, that people will watch and be able to take away from this story. What was your North Star? What did you want to hang on to and really emphasize in the story of June Carter Cash?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to make sure that she was the center of the film as much as possible, that she was telling her story. It's like her time to tell her story. She's not a sidekick. She's not an accessory. And so to kind of make her the main character. And even though John is a huge part of that story and an important part of that story, he, and you can see in like the latter part of the film when she's recording that album where he's playing backup for her. And it's like, he's playing backup in this film.
John would always come to our rehearsals. We weren't rehearsing for anything in particular. It was just that we just liked to get together and sing as a family, and we'd practice and practice and practice. And I loved that. And I think it was just an excuse for Mom to get out of the house and for John to get out of the house. And he would come over and he would play with us. And he wanted to be in it with the Carter girls.
What was your takeaway from her impact on music and on life?
She is the thread that holds the entire tapestry of country music and American music together. Like if you look from the beginning to today, June is the common thread throughout. And so so there's so many artists that are influenced by her today and influenced by her family. And the Carter family is foundational in making country music what it is.
Yeah, we're about to have the 100th anniversary of the Bristol sessions, which was the first recordings of the original Carter family in 1927, August 1st and 2nd. And so we're looking forward to a big celebration around that. But the arc part of what kept this legacy going for so long really had so much to do with the fact that my grandmother continued on with her daughters, with Helen, Anita, and June. And they came to Nashville to the Opry, and that went on and that went on. And then John became a part of our family, and he kept the Carter family going through that. So it's like multi-generational, 100 years of Carter family music's coming up, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I know, I don't know another exact thing like that.
Yeah, I don't think there's a parallel.
Yeah.
I mean, they call it the Big Bang of country music, those Bristol sessions, for a reason. And it's like, I just always kind of come back to these celestial metaphors. It's
Yeah.
like it's like this system, and they're all like major parts in it, keeping it
And-
together.
And when, you know, when I was a kid and my sister and I, we were told from very young age, I was told at a really young age, like, now when we're all gone, you have to keep the music alive. You have to keep the music alive, and you have to pass it down to your children, and they have to keep it alive. And that's been a motivation from particularly the last 15 years of my life. I've spent really trying to keep that part of my the legacy alive in my life as an entertainer as well. And keep spreading it around.
Being on the road was very unorthodox for women who had children.
But she had a legacy to leave. She had to get this music out.
She's giving a life lesson of what it means to stick it out.